Hiya. How you doing? See you in a bit, mate. Good morning, I'm Pete.
Good afternoon, I'm Matt.
And if you've seen a post we put up recently, we hit 1,000 subscribers, didn't we?
Yes. Finally hit 1,000 subs.
Yeah, do you know what? Genuinely, we say all the time, we weren't expecting to do that anytime soon.
It's weird to think that you guys want to sit and watch us just doing our Saturday afternoons. So.
Yeah, it's reassuring as well because we would just be doing this anyway. The fact that, like you say, people want to watch it is nice, isn't it? So
pretty cool. So thanks very much.
Appreciate it.
So to celebrate the 1,000 subs, we thought, what better way to celebrate it than doing a Q&A session?
It is a bit traditional, isn't it? It's a bit YouTube traditional.
Done a lot on YouTube, but we thought, why not? Because to be fair, I don't think people actually know that much about us, do they?
No, in the videos we haven't really discussed anything outside of what's actually going on in the video. So who the hell we are, how we know each other, we get on quite a lot.
A little bubble of an MR2, a Scooby, and us working in the rain or the wind.
GV20.
Yes. so we thought, you can kind of get to know us a little bit more, ask what you want to ask us. We did get, in fact, a few questions about a certain video that we did a while ago.
Yeah, we predicted we'd get a few questions about a certain video we did, and we did get a few questions about it, so we'll bring them up in the video as well. We'll also be having an update on our VXR giveaway, so if you've bought tickets on that, we've got some good news for you.
So a few of you did send questions in regarding that, which is completely understandable, but we're going to go and explain exactly what's going on with that as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's get into it.
Let's dive in. Okay, first question from Dan. What is your most memorable moment in/with a car of the car world?
Okay, so if I'm answering this, I think I'd have to say both of them together combined would be the time that we did the Nomad video.
Yeah, I agree actually.
So that was a pretty insane day because we kind of gone and met up with Steve, which you would have seen in the video. He took me out in it. We just blasting around the sort of Derbyshire countryside. Yeah. Came back and then he just basically gave us the keys and said, go and film your video and I'll see you later, lads. Yeah. And it was just mad. Like, what was that like, that first drive?
It was absolutely mad. What you don't see in the video is that before when we pulled out of that road, for the first 500 metres down the road next to it, me and Matt were just hysterically laughing because it was so surreal.
It was such a good moment. I was driving along and then we just looked at each other and just burst out laughing, just like, what are we doing?
Like, first of all, it was like, one, we're in a Nomad, and two, it was like, we're driving to McDonald's to buy a load of chicken nuggets. It was just so surreal, wasn't it? So for
me, that was just probably my best moment in a car.
Yeah,
had a lot of good moments.
We've had some crazy moments this year, to be fair. Not everything that has appeared on the channel. We've had some mad stuff go on, haven't we?
Yeah.
But that Nomad is still stand out for me as well.
So next question. This is from Elliot. So what oil are you running?
The actual specific oil, I can't remember the top of my head, but it's just Petronas Syntium, isn't it? For me, is it the same for you?
For me, exactly the same in the Scoob. Petronas Syntium, I think it's 540W. But yeah,
140, I think for me, I could be wrong.
Yeah, so we're both on that Petronas tip.
Get the AMG in there.
Yeah.
Okay, next question is from James, and it is, where did you guys meet each other?
Okay, so we'll have to take it back a little bit here.
Back, 10, 11 years?
Yeah, I think we met in 2007. When we both worked at a garden centre.
A massive garden centre, and we ran that away.
We did run it, like we had everything on lock.
Carried that garden centre.
Every department. So specifically, we met each other because we were in different departments and it was a massive garden centre. And we kind of saw each other around. We were good mates, how's it going? Yeah. And then one day somebody said, right, you need to get your ass in the restaurants and you need to start washing dishes. And me and Pete were like, we're not having any of that, but we had to. And we formed a brotherhood from that.
Pretty much. Like we bonded over how that day was. Scraping bits of crap off of horrible plates and
it was 8 hours of washing pensioners' lunches
non-stop.
Dishes,
yeah, our fingers were like pruned as well.
We bonded over how it really was.
Yeah, it was. And also I saw Matt do, still to my day, one of the most surreal things I've ever seen, which is that Matt was walking across the restaurant with, I think you had stuff in your hands, I can't really remember, you're carrying something. Plates. And the floor was like that sort of slippy vinyl, and Matt managed to sort of catch a bit of the floor, go like pretty much parallel to the floor, and managed to somehow recover it back to standing up again.
Still one of my greatest achievements.
I still don't know how it really happened. I just remember seeing it happen and be like, what was that? Like, just the confusion, like, from both of us. So from that moment onwards, I was like, this guy's cool.
Found out pretty quick that we both absolutely loved cars, and nobody else in there did. So we used to kind of go and peruse the car park, looking for the best cars of the day, like pretending we were getting trolleys.
Bring some excitement into the day, and we all had radios, so if I heard, Pete, to the car park please, I knew there was something decent out there.
I was like, we've got 4 bags of compost here, we need to get it in quick time, and then he'd come out to like a 240 SX or something.
Absolutely, yeah. So we were doing that every weekend for the best part of, 4 years?
I think it was 5
years,
6, I think, yeah.
And then outside of work, we got a go-kart, we did various other things, we messed around with cars. And
so put a little picture of that in. We had a little go-kart that we bought and we completely did up, you know, bought everything new, redid
Definitely wasn't stolen, that go-kart either.
No.
Maybe that's a video in itself, because the whole procedure of getting that go-kart was just hilarious.
Yeah, that was a story in itself, as my dad will remember.
But no, since then, just been mates tinkering with cars, haven't we? So.
Yeah, that's it. We've been, you know, the stuff that you see in videos we've been doing for the last 10 years, you know, messing about with cars, go-karts, just going out, having a few drinks. It's just what we do.
Yeah, we probably won't mention some of our nights out. But
some funny nights out. We might put one little clip.
No, we're not going to. There's no need to show any clips.
Okay, so next question is going to be kind of a multitude of a few rolled into one, because we've had quite a few questions regarding the same subject, which is, first of all, from Phil. Do you regret the Lockwood rant? He's gone way off piste anyway, but on reflection, what do you think? Another one, has your opinions changed since the Lockwood video? Another one, do you regret the Lockwood video? So there is a few on there, there's a few more.
Yeah, should we just get into it?
So let's just cover the whole thing.
Let's just cover the whole topic. So, first of all, Lee's fully aware that we're mentioning this. We were expecting to get a few questions, so we sent him a quick cheeky message and just said, "Hi mate, just to let you know, just giving you a heads up, we might end up talking about this again." So, and he came back and said, "Cheers for the heads up."
And respect. So
respect, fair play.
So let's go straight off. Why did we do it? I'm sure that's a big question. So
yeah, so we were watching Lee's videos, you know, when he was with the McGann, weren't we? Like right
even the Subaru before the McGann, like we were there right at the start.
Yeah. And we were just chatting between us, you know, about you tend to anyway when you try and do something on YouTube, you just chat between you about what everyone else is doing and sort of the styles and what everyone's, you know, interesting stuff. So we just sort of chatting about the direction, and then we decided, you know, good or bad idea or whatever, to put a little cheeky nod to that in our police video. And we got a few messages off the back of it, didn't we? Which we weren't expecting, genuinely. Right, you can clearly hear this wind and it's really annoying, so we're going to have to move.
Every video, so we're just going to probably make a windbreak out.
We're going to go down there. Every time.
Okay, sorry about that mad wind noise, but now this Subaru has made quite a nice windbreak for us.
Handy, innit? Yeah.
So yeah, let's carry on.
So we're just chatting between us and we thought, do you know what, like, the direction has changed, you know, for better or for worse or whatever, but we just decided to put a cheeky little message about that in our police video. And a few people saw it and messaged us about it, and then we decided, good or bad idea, to then make a video about that.
Tongue-in-cheek, you know, not a serious video in any way. We even had beef in the title.
The thing was, obviously, we did it to be a purposeful sort of nod at Lee's video about Jamie, because we'd obviously seen that when he'd uploaded it. We titled it exactly the same as well, didn't we? You know, we even put beef in sort of, you know, speech marks, you know, to sort of show that it was a bit of a jokey sort of thing on that, and just had a bit of a chat to the camera, didn't we, really, about what our thoughts, I suppose?
Yeah, just a bit of a laugh sort of type video. We put it out there, it kind of gained traction pretty quick.
Yeah, do you know, genuinely we thought it might get some attention, but we didn't sort of know how much attention that was going to get. We didn't expect it to explode.
We had 100 subs and we thought, you know, got our little community now, people will start saying they're liking the videos, liking the Scoob, we'll put it out there, our 100 people will see. Not saying that we didn't think Lee would see it, but we didn't think that it would go to like 20,000 views.
In the space of like a couple of days, so that was a surprise. I don't know if it was taken necessarily as a joke. No offence was intended, obviously, by it. I think we were quite polite about the stuff we were talking about, but if I am very honest, I did go on a bit of a rant about the Patreon thing. But that's, do you know what? That's just Patreon in general. I'm not a fan of Patreon in general, and that wasn't necessarily directed at Lee. That was just directed at the Patreon aspect of things, you know, and I completely get why people do it. It's just not for us. That's not our thing anyway. Hopefully a lot of people twigged that it was meant to be a bit of a reference to the Jamie FYD video. I think the joke was maybe lost on a few people, but it is what it is, you know.
The joke was definitely lost on a few people. And, you know, some people could say, well, you were being personal. I don't think we were being personal. We were just having our opinion on the direction of his channel, the way that we loved all the cars and stuff. You know, as we've said, and you can see in the video, the whole way through, we're saying we're still fans, we're still going to watch, which we still do watch. Yeah, absolutely. And it was just kind of blowing up a little bit. And then there was a little bit of a kind of to and fro-ing on the comments section. But at the end of the day, it was just meant to be a little bit of fun.
It was a bit tongue-in-cheek. I don't know whether that was missed, but Lee, genuinely, if there's any offence taken, mate, then obviously that wasn't intended. And we've got a 4-foot air freshener with your name on it if you want that as a peace offering. You're more than welcome to have it. So.
And by the way, the new Evo is looking very nice in the purple.
Yes, good colour choice. Next one, Imi. Do you go to any car meets in Southport?
We go to UK Hot Cars, which is in Southport. We've been there a couple of times.
Been there a few times. There's not actually that many that go on that we're aware of, is there?
When you say Southport, which is where we're from, there's not that many, but we do go to Cars and Coffee most months in Liverpool.
Yeah, that's a really good one, to be fair. And we were up at the Scotch Piper, weren't we, as well?
Yeah, Scotch Piper, yeah, we've been there.
That was decent. We might try and head up there a little bit more.
Okay, next question from FT Lock. So what are the best and worst things about having a YouTube channel?
Yeah, that's an interesting one, actually. Obviously, we're still very new to this, so we're still learning as we get along. From my perspective, the best thing about it is that from a selfish point of view, I can look under the engine of my MR2 without having to go out and look at the car. I can very quickly flip through a video and go, oh, okay, I do need this, or I do need that, or this bit's there.
I've used that a couple of times.
Yeah, exactly.
Or in the boot of the Scoob.
It's your specific car as well. Like, no, genuinely, I love editing things and that side of things, and having content around cars to edit. It's just, you know, what I've always wanted to sort of be doing. So, you know, I have great fun playing around with footage and stuff. Which leads me straight into the worst thing of YouTube, which is how long it takes to edit the sodding videos.
Especially our setup with, you know, we have mics and stuff, external mics.
It's, you know, it's probably not the ideal setup, but it's how we're rolling at the moment, isn't it?
And we're all about that quality kind of more than other things.
We always said at the start, we're on our own timeline. We're going to get the videos out when we're happy with them. That doesn't actually work very well for YouTube, because then you drop off the face of the planet. So we're trying to like toe that line between having good quality stuff and regular stuff, and we're slowly getting there. I think we're finding stuff to build the bridges, but you know, thank you for your patience in the meantime between videos. Not necessarily a bad thing. I just think getting the videos ready to go out can sometimes be a bit of a pain after work and stuff.
When we have full-time jobs and stuff, it is a lot to fit in, so obviously it'd work a lot better if YouTube was your full-time job.
A long way off, but you know, we can dream, can't we? So
okay, best things about having a YouTube channel. I'd probably have to say the little community of mates that we've got off the back of it.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
So kind of before this, you know, we had a few mates locally into cars, but now we've got a lot of good contacts that we've made, and we meet up. Like, we regularly chat to them on Instagram, on YouTube, on the comments. It's just like a little kind of community that
that's
we've
a good
built.
point, actually. That makes me sound like such a dick for my answer. So.
No, not at all.
It's not that I don't love you guys.
No, not at all. It's a nice little community, isn't it? We're built kind of around our channel. Obviously, these people have their own channels as well and different things, but it's just kind of nice thinking that they're kind of all in the same boat that we're in. We can chat about each other's videos, how they're edited,
feedback, all sorts, can't we?
So yeah, those guys will know who they are because we see them and speak to them quite regularly at some of the meets, especially at Cars and Coffee. The car community is always a good group of people, but especially the ones that we've kind of met locally. So yeah, I'd say that's my best thing that's kind of come from having the channel.
What's the worst?
Worst thing, I suppose people are going to kind of expect always at the bad comments that you get, especially kind of after certain videos that we've done, but to me, I literally don't give a damn. I know people say, oh, I don't give a damn, but then they probably go home and cry under the pillow, but to me, literally, I don't give a damn. I think it's funny if someone slates us, like where they're liking it and stuff and like adding to it.
I played Halo extensively for about 5 years online, and if you can't get used to being called everything under the sun, then you know you're in the wrong industry, or the wrong game, aren't you?
So I can't really say that, oh, I don't like the comments from having the channel. That doesn't bother. I don't know what's the worst thing. I suppose sometimes maybe it's a graft trying to organise and orchestrate things, filming a video.
That's the thing. It's like when you've not filmed anything in a while, it's in the back of your mind like, oh, we need to get something filmed. You know, we need to sort of get something done.
Yeah. For an example today, we might even chuck in a couple of clips of what we've been experiencing with the wind. It can just be a nightmare trying to get everything in position to make sure you can film.
It can just be a nightmare. It's always a nightmare.
It always is. So yeah, that's probably the worst thing. But you know, look at the benefits. You know, out in a Subaru all the time, out in Nomads, it definitely gets outweighed by the positives.
Okay, so from Jay, plans for the Scoob, heart emoji.
Plans for the Scoob. Okay, so engine bay's pretty much where I want it, apart from the intake manifold needs spraying, but it's pretty much where I want it for now. I do want the wheels redoing to gold. The black at the moment, slightly chipped buggery from the Wales video, which will be coming out soon. I suppose the biggest job at the moment is sorting the boot out, because the boot is still the way it was from the first video that we ever shot here. So that is kind of coming up soon, because we have made some, put some provisions in place for that.
Yeah, I think the beauty of this one is that you don't want to take it, you want to keep it as nice, tidy example, because the mileage is so low.
Yeah.
It would almost be bad to tarnish that by going overboard and turning it into something that's not meant to be. So
that's the thing with this car. It was kind of bought as an investment, because it's 2003. It's only got, I think, 36,000 miles on it. So it is a nice example of a Scoob. Some people might say it's not because of the suspension, but that's completely reversible if somebody didn't want it on. In my opinion, I think it looks good with the suspension when you can drop it. Some people think once you put the air ride on a car, that's the end of the ride. It's not. Air ride's used on a lot of race cars because you can completely kind of alter your ride height, and it handles just as well, if not better.
If anything, at that rally stage, you were able to boost yourself right up onto rally suspension, weren't you? Which is great.
Yeah, people are like, oh, it's a working car, it's a rally car, why would you want to slam it? You can slam it when you want, you can keep it higher or lower, you know, it's completely up to yourself. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to kind of keep it as it was to kind of try and keep some value on it. So yeah, that's kind of where I want to go with the Scoob.
Keeping it clean, isn't it? Just nice, really clean example of a low mileage 2003 blob eye, isn't it? Really.
That's it, yeah. So moving on from that, what are the plans for John? What would you say for John?
Too much. Problem is, I don't want to throw too much money into it. With it just being naturally aspirated and not turbo, it would just be a waste. I don't intend on having it any longer than another 12 months unless I absolutely fall in love with John once he's properly on the road.
Out and about in it,
yeah. You know exactly what's going on with it, don't you, in terms of the picture that I sent you yesterday?
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
When he says big plans, they are big plans.
The big plans, probably stupidly too big, but no, we're going to have fun with it. I'm going to try and keep it a cheap build because I think that's going to be part of its appeal as well, is that you don't have to throw a load of money at them. You can get a nice cheap sports car, you can do some nice tasteful and cheap-ish mods, and then before you know it, you've got all the little sports car you need for a country road. So yeah, thinking of garaging it soon, but we've got wheels, brakes, suspension,
there's a lot in the pipeline,
wrapping, radiator. You know, we're going to work our way through the list. Steering wheel, dash, gear surround.
There is a lot. So even if
rust,
rust is the main one. Yeah. There's an extensive list. So even if some of you guys might see, because they are quite rare now, you might see a picture of a good one that you think, oh, that would look good. Send it in to us.
Please do. Yeah.
We're loving all that. You know, people sending us on Instagram, oh, what do you think about this? Why don't you do this to yours? Why don't you get them wheels? Definitely send us your opinions as well. What direction you think?
It's still an open book at the end of the day. You know, I know the direction I want it to go down, but that probably changes on a fortnightly, monthly basis, doesn't it? So, give me your inspiration, please. Sammy, we've answered you already, but we're going to answer it anyway. Will you swap your bags for his plates?
Oh yeah, I know this. It's the guy with the Scoob who will put a little picture of his plate in. He wants to swap that plate for the bags. I do like the plate, but I like the bags more.
yeah. Also, we don't have anything against Evos, do we really? So
yeah,
we fallen into a jap meet, causing beef before we even got there. You know?
But yeah, no, sorry, keeping the bags for now. Okay, next question, Zane. So he's saying, would you ever consider turning your channel into a business with a unit?
Oh, I would love to get a unit. Genuinely, I've already looked at them. I had a unit briefly, that went well, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to, honestly, I'd love to. I don't think turning it into a business is the right way of putting that. I think
business side, I don't know what we do as a business, because we don't actually do stuff that we probably want to sell to people. The sort of mods we do, you know, cable ties for bumpers, not that type of thing.
Yeah. If YouTube one day was self-sustainable in that it paid for a unit, that would be fine.
Yeah.
That would be the dream scenario, because then the YouTube's just paying for us somewhere to store our cars and for somewhere for us to work on them. And I don't think they're too expensive, but yeah, at the moment with everything else going on as well, I can't really justify dropping any dough on a unit, can you?
We do have a lot coming up. So Zane, in short, definitely a unit is on the cards at some point.
Even if we go in with other YouTubers, because that's been floated around as well. Around us. So
yeah, but as a business, probably nothing that we can actually sell to anybody at this point, apart from people watching our videos.
And then Connor has just put 3D smelly tree.
Oh, this is after the air freshener. What did you want to make it 3D?
He wanted us to make it 3D. Connor, no, we're not going to do that. What's the point?
Do you know how much graft went into that from what Pete's told me?
What are we going to do with it anyway? We're struggling to get rid of the 4-foot flat one, let alone the 3D equivalent of it. So
you need a estate to put it in.
Yeah, we'll leave that to you, mate. You crack on.
Yeah. Okay, so from Jade, how old are you?
27.
29. Didn't know you.
How long have we known each other? How old do you think I was?
I know you hit 28 in December.
Yeah, man. Yeah. We don't even know.
Yeah, 20. God, I feel old. 29. Only just 29 then. Okay, next question. So this was another quite lively topic on the Q&A session.
To be expected.
Yeah, and it is, what is going on with the VXR giveaway?
Yeah. We picked up the VXR at the start of this year, February, something like that?
Beginning of this year, around Feb. At that time, there wasn't every man and his dog doing this, which it seems to be at the moment.
Yeah.
So basically we thought, let's have a little go at this. We had money available to go and get a car, do a quick review on it and see what we could do raffle wise.
Yeah, it's never as simple, unfortunately, as just buying a car and raffling it off. You have to do everything legally and clearly and transparently for good reason.
To be honest, you wouldn't realise what has to go into that to make it legal, because I'm sure there's a lot of people doing it, you know, that aren't doing it legal. We want to make sure that we're covered and we're doing it the proper way. Yeah,
and that's the thing. We could have got it and just raffled it off over Instagram or something and not done it by the books. And then if something had gone wrong, God forbid, you know, that you wouldn't have trusted us, and you know.
Yeah. So we're thinking we want to do it completely legit, legally, and also the way it was raffled.
It's a win-win, because we get to give someone a car, we get to review it first, so it's nice fresh stuff for the content. We get to give it to someone, which is a nice little video in itself, isn't it, as well?
That video.
How nice would it be to give someone a car? Well, how nice will it be to give someone that car?
Yeah. But since then, you know, we've hit a couple of problems just to do with the legalities of it and having to wait for various things.
Yeah, and you know, that is unfortunately the problem, is that we've been waiting and chasing banks and all sorts just to try and make sure everything's watertight before we did it properly.
So it's not like, oh, we did something and then we've had to wait off our own back. We've done something and then we've been told, right, you need to wait 4 months for that to be accepted, or you need to wait 6 months for this to refresh and apply again.
Yeah.
So it's just taken so long, but at the moment we're near enough there. We're right towards the end now of actually getting it back up and running.
So my mic turned itself off 20 minutes ago by the looks of things. Whatever.
Okay, so in short, it's still very much at the forefront of what we're trying to do, what we're trying to promote on our channel. It's just we've had to kind of let it go on the back burner in terms of promoting it, because we don't want people trying to buy tickets and we can't actually process that.
Yeah, absolutely.
For those of you that have bought a ticket at the moment, you've still, you know, your money's safe, your money's there, it's ready to go.
Yeah, we've got a log of all the tickets bought.
So don't worry about that.
We're also, as a mark of saying thank you for getting on it so early and just the trust that's gone into that as well, everybody that's bought a ticket or 2 tickets, 3 or 4 tickets, you're going to get double what you paid for, just to say thank you. So if you bought 1 ticket, you've now got 2. If you bought 2, 4, and vice versa. So thank you guys.
Because, you know, it's only fair because you put your trust in us. We started it very early with all the best intentions, and, you know, your money's been sat with us.
Absolutely. You've been waiting a while, and even though we never put a time frame on when we would be giving this car away for, you know, you put your trust in us, and so, you know, we appreciate that.
And definitely, you know, keep an eye on our Instagram, because that's where all the updates will be. And we are literally talking, I know we probably said this a while ago, but we're looking at, you know, weeks away now from being back up.
Website's going to be relaunched imminently, and then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be pushing Facebook posts and sponsoring those posts to build up as much traction and sell the rest of the tickets. So when it does go up, obviously we'll probably put a VXR update video out maybe, but we'll definitely put it all over our Instagram and just let you know that we're back up and running and how many tickets are remaining.
Before you know it, you could be in the seat of that VXR, still ready to go, dying to go to somebody. We can't wait to give it away. It's
still 100% being given away. Nothing has changed there. You know, the car is there waiting for someone.
It's literally sat parked by the Scoob every night. So
absolutely.
Bastard thing. You wouldn't believe like what goes into just doing a simple.
We've now swapped to the second GoPro, because the other one we were sat so long waiting for the wind to die down that the battery's gone on it and you can't replace the battery.
So we're on second location, second GoPro.
Yeah.
And we might have even lost some audio.
Well, I think we probably have lost some audio. Every time! So that was our first ever Q&A.
Yeah. I think that went pretty well.
Yeah, thank you for everyone who asked a question. We got more than we expected.
I was expecting some more personal, worse questions than that. So
yeah, thank you for being merciful on that front. I thought we were going to get some really dodgy stuff.
Yeah. So hopefully we've covered everything that you wanted to know, and thanks for everyone for getting involved and actually sending us a question.
Yeah, we'll probably do another one of these maybe at the next milestone, if people have enjoyed this one. Anybody that asked us a question that's got a YouTube channel that we've been chatting to, we've put up their little YouTube links as the questions have been going through as well. Check them out. It's an absolute graft being on YouTube, and these guys are there grafting as well. So.
Yeah, they're on the exact same bus as us, all heading in the same direction. So definitely give them a little look.
Yeah, and we wouldn't be saying that if we didn't like watching it either. So check them out because you'll enjoy it, guarantee it.
So anyway, that's the end of this video, the end of the first Q&A session that we've done. Hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah, I suppose we'll just see you on the next one then.
See you on the next one. Thank you guys.
Cheers.
Straight away we go past 3 people at low speed. Oh!
That thing's heavy. Okay, so we're on probably the biggest roundabout in the town that we live in.
Yeah.
And it's not ideal for the left